Hello dear students, I am Dr.S.D.Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear students, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasara Samajas, KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as HM College Nasik. Dear students, this is our MA M.Sc Geography Part First Class, Semester 2nd, and code of our paper is GGDT-130. The title of our subject is Geography of Tourism. Dear student, today in this lecture we are going to discuss our topic number 4, that is Introduction to Geography of Tourism. And in this topic we have last subtopic, that is Impact of Tourism on Economy of India. Dear student, you know that the tourism is a very important sector at international level and as well as in many countries. In a developing country like India, tourism has become one of the major sector of economy. Tourism expenditure generate income to the host economy, whereas particularly the foreign tourists usually visit time to time. Tourism is also one of the important engine to attract more foreign exchange, particularly for the host country. Dear student, in India, we have a lot of scope to develop the tourism as per our potential, but still we are not able to flourish our tourism on a large scale. If there is also a need to increase the government's role to make India flourish in tourism and establish in the global market. If we do that, then definitely we can able to much more than what today we have. Let us talk about the impact of the tourism on Indian economy. The first point is, of course, very important, that is the employment generation. Dear student, you know that the tourism activity or this tertiary activity is the fastest growing activity in India also. One of the easiest advantages to identify is the job tourism brings. The jobs such as the tour guides, hotel staff, coach, services, taxi driver and restaurant, and lot of people are getting directly or indirectly job due to the tourism development or tourism activity. Dear student, you know that let us talk about the one very important statistical information that are released by the government of India. As per 2019, to 4.2 crore jobs were created in the tourism sector in India, which was 8.1% of the total employment in the country. Dear student, this statistical information shows that there is a lot of contribution of tourism, particularly in generation the employment in India. Dear student, let us talk about the another important contribution of the tourism sector in Indian economy, that is contribution of tourism in GDP. Dear student, the tourism help increase in the national income, GDP and the government revenue. The World Travel and Tourism Council calculated that tourism generated 9.2% of the India's GDP in 2018. I don't have the latest information, the statistical information about 2019 and 2020, but I'm sure that it is very close to this figure, and this contribution is really very much near about 9.2% GDP we are getting from the tourism sector. So it indicates that there is a lot of importance of this sector in our Indian economy. Let us talk about another third very important source of the foreign currency. You know that student, the foreign currency we get due to the tourism activity, because when the foreign tourists visited to Indian city or Indian tourist place at that time, they spent a lot of foreign currency, and that foreign currency directly we are getting from the tourists that are came from the various countries. Tourism is an important source of foreign exchange earning in India. It has a favorable impact on the balance of payment of the country, that is very important at the international level. The foreign exchange earning from tourism in India is increased by 6.8% in 2018 if you compare the previous few years. So this also indicates that there is a positive impact, or the positive impact we observe the tourism on the Indian sector, Indian economy especially. I'm talking about it is a very important source of the getting the foreign currency to India. The foreign exchange earning, that is the FEE from tourism stood at USD 28.9 billions in 2018. So this is also important what you can say, the clue that we get the information about, there is a lot of importance of the tourism in our getting the foreign currency from the various country. So dear student, when we have a lot of foreign currency in our treasury, in the government treasury, then definitely it indicates that the good sign and symbols of our economy. So let us talk about another important impact of the tourism sector in our Indian economy, that is increasing in the trading activity. Dear student, the trade is a very important, especially I am talking about the international trade, where due to the tourism activity or this sector, we are also able to flourish our international trade. Because when the foreign tourists visited to our country, that time they buy a lot of things, and due to this activity, there is a existence of the international tourism, international trade between India and the other foreign tourists. So it means what? When these tourists stayed at the various tourist places during their stay, they utilized various services and also purchased various local goods. Therefore, there's a trade activities increase, and really the when we have a international trade, international tourism, that time through this international tourism we can able to get a lot of positive things from this international tourism as well as international trade that is happen due to the foreign tourists in India. These all goods they carried with them. Therefore, the foreign trade is also increased, in the government receive various taxes through this trade. Really, dear student. So due to the when there is a lot of tourists visit to India time to time from the various countries, that time due to their this tourism internal stay in our India, and they buy a lot of things, and due to this activity, through this all this activity, there is a generation of the international trade between the foreign tourists and the local our Indian people. So therefore, this is also directly indirectly this trading activity or this tourism is support to the trading activity between India, the Indian people, the local market with the foreign tourism, foreign tourists. That time we get the lot of things through this international trading, or you can say the trading activity. Only it is happen due to the visit of the foreign tourists. So this is a really very important thing, and I just mentioned again. I'm going to mention that it means tourism support to the national as well as the international trade. That trading activities also support to the economy of the India. Let us talk about another important impact of the tourism on our economy, that is infrastructure development. Dear student, you know that the development of the infrastructure is very important for the economical development of the country, and when due to the tourism development, indirectly that sector is also help to the development of the infrastructure that are available. Particularly, I am talking about the tourist places where we have developed tourists. It includes the various means of transportation, healthcare facility, sports center, in addition to the hotel, restaurant, airport. All these things are where we are creating, or this all facility we are creating through the various planning to develop the tourism sector at particular destination or at particular place, and therefore indirectly that also support this all this developed infrastructure we can also able to use for the other sector. It may be the industry, it may be trade, or it may be the local people. These people are, or all these sector are also using this infrastructure. So therefore this credit goes to again for the tourism, because due to the tourism we can able to develop this type of the all network of the communication, network of the transportation, and all these internal it may be the supply of the water, supply of the electricity, or the bus services. All these things are we are able to do only due to the as a part of the tourism development. But these things also support to the other sector that we have in India. Therefore, credit goes to the infrastructure development is happen only due to the tourism activity, where we have the tourist places, tourist destination in that area. I am talking about especially it is developed only due to the tourism activity. Therefore, dear student, this tourism sector is helpful to the improvement and the development of the infrastructure of that particular places. tourism receive the more taxes, which allow public project to be launched and developed. Dear students, when a local government get a lot of revenue or the taxes through the tourism activity, that time they have the extra money to spend again to develop the internal infrastructure or the infrastructure of that particular city. I am talking about especially the hill station like Mahabaleshwar, Simla, Darjeeling, Uti. These are the places, or even in India also, the other places like Jaipur, Agra, Mathura, then Panji, Udaipur, in the Aurangabad. These are the places where the local people, local government get a lot of taxes through the tourism activity, and that extra money they can able to spend to develop the infrastructure of their places or their city. Therefore, this all credit goes to the tourism, because due to the tourism, it is possible. The better facility bring in a more visitor, but it's a fantastic benefit to the local residents and the people also. Therefore, this is also a very important contribution that we are getting due to the tourism activity. Regional development is the other important aspect of the tourism that helpful. The tourism helpful to create the regional development at particular place. Especially, I am talking about the where the tourist places are developed. That places become an important center of the regional development of that country. If you see the infrastructure that we have, the various tourist places or the destination in India, you will observe that near each and every tourist places, there we found the some extent some regional development. To provide the various facilities to the foreign tourists, even the local tourists, the government invests a lot of capital in tourism sector. Therefore, roads, accommodation, hotel, parks, and other various correlated services with the tourism are increased at the tourist places, and it helps to the regional development. Again, I'm talking about the Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Goa, Kerala. These are the state here. This in particular, the regional developments happen only due to the development of the tourism activity. Especially, the government is also give more attention toward the development of such places, and indirectly, when they given the attention toward this specific tourist places, that time it also indirectly useful to development of the region of that particular place. Therefore, it is possible the regional developments happen due to the development of the tourism activity at particular region. Let us talk about the another contribution of the tourism sector in the Indian economy. That's the marketing development. Yes, dear student, I also repeated this point in one previous point also. Again, I am repeating that development of tourism industry and activity indirectly support the development of the market at the local places or the local tourist places. I'm just talking about the, if you see, visit to the Jaipur, Agra, Amritsar, Udaipur, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. These are all the city where the shopping is increased only due to the tourism activity, because not only the the national tourists, but the domestic tourists, but also the international tourists are usually places again and again these places, and they purchase a lot of things, and these all things are give inspiration or the give support to the development of the market at that particular place. If you visit to each and every city that are mentioned in this point, you will observe that the market of that particular city is only developed due to the foreigner visit and the other tourists they are visited usually that places, and therefore the marketing activity is developed at that particular place. If you compare the city, those are very close to this tourist places, definitely you will understand, you are able to distinguish that yes, the credit goes to again that tourism activity, that because in that particular places the market developed only due to the tourism activity, and when you compare with the other places, they are not developed as like a tourist places, they remain a backward when you compare this city with the tourist city. So therefore, this indicates that the market developed only due to the credit goes to the tourism activity that we have at that particular destination and that places. Let's talk about another very important contribution of the tourism in government revenue. So dear student, this is a really very important contribution of because the government are able to generate a lot of money through the revenue that they get due to the direct or indirect through the development of the tourism and the particular. Especially I'm talking about the user fee, income tax, taxes on the sale, rental of the recreational equipment, and the license fee, and so many activity that are happening at that particular tourist places. The directly indirectly, the tourists pay a lot of money as a tax in the form of the various things, and that all money goes to the government treasury, and government get a lot of revenue through this tourism activity. If you see everywhere, you go to the Mahabaleshwar, Darjeeling, Ooty, Simla, Agra, Jaipur, Udaipur, Aurangabad, everywhere you will find that when we visit as a tourist in that place, that time at the various places we have to pay a taxes directly and indirectly to the government. That all money again goes to the government, and therefore the government are able to get a lot of revenue through this tourism activity. And therefore the tourism is a very important sector that contribute a lot of money in our government treasury as a revenue. Let us talk about the growth in the service sector. You know that, student, even the tourism is also one important tertiary activity where they always require the various support from the various service sector. It may be the communication, it may be the transportation, or maybe the at the individual level also we are getting the services like a tourist guide. We have we have the waiter, we have the lot of driver, and lot of things they are connected with the service sector that provided to the tourism. Therefore, when we visit to the any places, that time we're using the airport, we're using the transportation, we're using the communication like a mobile, we in the fax it, all these things we are using, and that service sector is also when the tourists demand these all services at that particular place, that time these things support to the development of the service sector at that particular places. I am talking about the airlines, hotel, restaurant, surface transportation, the communication, the local transportation like a taxi, auto, these all things, these all the services sector, they are developed only due to the visiting of the national and the international tourists at that particular places. And therefore when the tourism activities flourish at any destination places, that definitely this activity is always support to development and the growth of the other service sector that they connected with the transportation. Therefore this contribution of the tourism in the service sector is also very important, and indirectly that support to the economy of that particular local place. Last but not the least, support to the local handicraft. Dear student, this is a really very important point that we are going to discuss here. The foreign tourists are attracted by the Indian culture and tradition, especially when they visit to any Indian city or any Indian tourist places. That time they buy a lot of handicraft because the tourists purchase many products during their visit. Especially we have the traditional lot of things, the article, it may be made from the glass, made from the rock, or made from the wood, or maybe from the various things we are using, used for the making the various handicrafts, and they are really one important attraction of the tourists. When the tourists visit to any places, that time they purchase a lot of these things, and therefore the handicraft industry get the support from this type of the things, this type of the activity. If you visit to the any places during their journey, the tourists and staying the tourist places, they purchase many local handicraft which help to boost the local handicraft business at the particular places. Especially I am talking about the few places where you will observe this thing in a large scale. If you are talking about the Jaipur, Agra, Kanyakumari, Jammu, and so many our old cities where the foreign tourists purchase a lot of articles, lot of handicrafts material from the Indian local market, and these all things support to the local handicraft industry or the small scale industry. Therefore, and you know that this small scale industry is also one part and parcel of the Indian economy. So therefore, through the tourism activity, they always support the local handicraft, especially at each and every tourist places that we have in India. So therefore, dear students, this is a very important sector that contribute indirectly to the Indian economy. If you want to, dear student, if you want to update your notes, you can use this all website. Definitely, I am sure that you will get a lot of information that are related to our topic. Dear student, it was about the today's lecture. In next lecture, we are going to start our next important chapter number 2, that is the classification and recent concept and tourism. that we are going to discuss in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.